Okay, welcome everyone. Good evening. Just got finished watching the Sparks defeat the Las Vegas Aces. Good game for the most part, although the Aces were definitely cold, except for Jackie Young and Chelsey Gray. They were pretty much keeping them in the game. But early on, Asia Wilson didn't have a basket in the whole first half. She had some foul. She got some. She scored from the foul line, but she didn't have one basket, which that's I don't know if that's ever happened in a half. So Rakea Jackson was giving the Sparks a lead. She was 4 for 5 from three in the beginning, and then Kelsey Plum had a really nice pick and roll to Hamby. They do that quite often. Um, that was really nice. So in the first half, or the first quarter, the Sparks went out to a 29-17 lead, and also Plum didn't have any points. She had one 3-pointer for 3 points. So then in the second quarter, Jackie Young started to come alive. She was making a run. She got the lead reduced to 9 points. It had the Sparks had built it up to 20. They were up by 20 in the second, and then Jackie Young had like she had two old school threes, drove to the hoop, got the foul, 3-point play. She did that twice, and then hit a three and knocked it down to a 9-point lead. So just that was all on her own. But then Hamby got a steal, and then she hit a three. Jackie Young right back with another three. So there was kind of going back and forth. And then in the second, Rakea Jackson wasn't hitting any shots. She went cold. But Azrae Stevens stepped up. She had great hustle, a couple of hoops, and then it went back up to a 12-point lead. And then Chelsey Gray hit a three right before the end of the half. So the halftime score was 50-41. So it was still, I mean, it was a 9-point game, but the Aces were shooting in the first half 31%, and the Sparks were shooting 59%. And that pretty much tells you the story there. Then in the third, both teams were cold. Like with 5 minutes played in the third quarter, each team only had 7 points, only added 7 points. And then, so it was pretty much staying around that 9-10 deficit, point deficit. And then Gray hit a three that brought them within 4, and that's the closest they got. And then Jackie Young, in the second half especially, Jackie Young started coming alive. But it was just, in the third, she had 22 points. Most of the scoring was done at the foul line. So at the end of the third, it was 71-65 Sparks. And Asia Wilson got hit in the nose, and she ended up leaving the game, and that was it for her with like a minute left in the third. And then in the fourth, it had picked up. It was a faster pace in the fourth, and Jackie Young just started flying down the court. And she ended up with, 34 points. So she had 22 in the third, and then ended up scoring, 12 more in the fourth. She was trying her best to, get the game for the Aces, but it just wasn't enough. And then Chelsey Gray was 6 for 9 for three, so she was helping, but they just didn't have enough, and they couldn't ever. Every time they'd make a run, the Sparks would just score on their own, and they just never let them get close. So the final score was 97-89, and the Sparks get the win. So, yeah, the Aces have some work to do, but they were cold. I mean, other than Jackie Young, but most of hers were driving to the hoop. She was driving to the hoop, and then, Asia, I think she had like maybe 3 hoops or something. But the Sparks had like Hamby scored. I didn't look at their point total, but Stevens had points. They were probably all in double figures. I think Plum ended up getting like 11. She wasn't she had more assists. She was doing the assist thing instead of scoring as much. But they were also double teaming her. As soon as she'd get close, they'd start double teaming her, make her pass the ball. But between Jackson, Hamby, Stevens, and Odyssey Sims, I don't think she scored very much. And then Plum had 11. And then they had some people come off the bench, played pretty well. King came off the bench. She played pretty well in the time she was in there in the fourth. But yeah, it was Gray and Young for the Aces, and pretty much it. And it just wasn't enough to catch the Sparks. But, you know, it was a pretty good game. The Aces just couldn't catch them. So that's the post game on the Sparks and the Aces.